just a reminder to stay curious because there is always more to learn. And when you approach your life, your goals, as well as your challenges with curiosity, that is when things start to happen. And what I mean by happen is turning in your favor. And I keep noticing how things that I learned back, something that helped me grow exponentially, continues resurfacing now in different situations, coming up in books that I read and other speakers that I listen to. And I think it's just really cool how the concepts seem interrelated because it's just more evidence that we have the power, how much power we have in creating our lives. So I'll give you an example. Ever since I was little, I believed that we were here to learn lessons. I just felt like I inherently knew that continuing to improve was part of our purpose here, and that when we don't learn the lessons that we need to, we stay stuck. And I actually did my very first motivational video on this topic, on sitting with the discomfort. I think it was the first one, and focusing on the frustration. And now years later, I'm learning more about this topic. And so I encourage you to pay attention to what challenges, what frustrations, what areas in your life seem to be keeping you stuck. And I'm listening to other speakers that are talking about the same kind of thing, Dolores Cannon, Jordan Peterson, just to name two. And I'm also reading more about it in a book I'm reading on healing chronic pain, where the author talks about looking at your pain from a different perspective and instead getting curious about it, and how when fear is the driving force behind our focus, that can lead to our problems growing bigger. So I encourage you to look at your problems the same way that the author was talking about in the book, about looking at your pain differently, getting curious about it, where it's coming from, why it's there, what it feels like. You can do the same thing with your problems and your challenges, and approach them with curiosity about why they're there, where they're coming from. And you can do the same thing with your goals. So let's say, for example, you want to move forward in your career, or you're looking for the ideal relationship. But if you're so focused on the outcome, it has to be this way, it has to be this opportunity, it has to be this person, or it has to be this timeline, that is when you keep yourself stuck, because then you limit yourself. You're not open to actually notice when the right people and opportunities and initial steps present themselves on your path. And remember that each challenge is an opportunity for you to grow stronger. And once you overcome that challenge, you become more equipped. So I encourage you to embrace your challenges, because I believe, and I bet if you look back throughout your life, you'll find the same to be true as well, that your lessons, your problems are lessons placed by design to help you along your path and guide you in the direction, and also prepare you to be strong enough for once you get where it is you're going. And it's when we ignore our challenges rather than face them that we stay stuck. And then what happens is the problem has to grow bigger next time, because it will come back until we learn the lesson. And that can be pretty uncomfortable, but it doesn't have to be. I encourage you to pay attention to your problems, challenges when they're smaller, when they're just little tiny irritants. And then the problem doesn't need to grow bigger to get your attention. And you can do the same thing with your goals and your dreams that you're working toward, because they all start, our goals and our dreams, as ideas, as little glimmers, an idea, something that we're curious about. You want to pay attention to that and get curious about your ideas when they're small, when they're just a little glimmer of an idea. And that's how, by focusing on it, getting curious, that's how you nurture your goals and dreams as you start to work toward them. And in this way, by choosing your focus, by getting curious about your problems, that's how you get your problems to shrink, get smaller, and how you get your goals and dreams to grow bigger with curiosity.